Welcome back. We spawn at the top of the mountain. I haven't done much with this house, I notice, because I've been playing a lot on the Farmbase and working on that. Is this metal? No. I would take some metal nodes. I like the top here. If we can go and build up, we can parachute to probably all of this here. But yeah, am I gonna take the time to build the place to do that? Not sure. I think wherever I decide to build or work on, it can only be like one place at a time. Why would it stop? Good question. It like refueled itself. It stopped at some point, then refueled itself. So it could have went on, so why would it stop? Machine is off. Machines are off. Interesting. Why are they off? Why would they all be off? That's intriguing. But what doesn't make sense, and that's not the reason most likely, because the stuff that was in the output was gone, right? There was nothing. Well, that means machines were on to pull it. And it pulls it here, and it pulls it here. And there's space left, so very confusing. I don't know if I've shown some of the development, but yeah, 2 boxes in the middle, sure. Prevent some of the bullshit where you're stuck here. Compacts up the place. We notice 5 boxes, components, boom, guns, and ammo. Or farming material, wood, and food. I'm missing a box for clothes, right? So what's the situation? Cloth is doing fine. Fuel is kind of low. TC itself is doing good, just these mainly. We can get more money if we need. This goes here. I still want to work on a way for the TC to be plugged in the output so that the charcoal can be taken and whatever else we don't need here. But if it does the loop, right, if there's a loop, for example, when I say stone should go in the other box, it's gonna take it from here, and then here is like, no, I want at least 4,000, so it's gonna take it back from the box. So when there's a loop like that, we want to make sure that the one pulling the stone is it's not that it's just leaving 4,000, because then it would leave 4,000 everywhere. And if it does that, then you want it to look into the TC so that it sees 4,000 and takes the rest. And look elsewhere also. So that's where combiners will come in handy into filtering which box do I want you to look to see 4,000 and take the rest. Can we give an example? Maybe. With this box, I'm trying to put stone, like so. It would leave 4,000. And in order for it not to leave 4,000 in all the boxes, we would need it to look into just a TC. It's kind of hard because you want to apply a 4,000 minimum limit on the TC, but then you want to apply 0 limit elsewhere. Would be simpler if the conveyors could talk to each other and say, I want 4,000 in TC, do not take it. But it does not do that. And if we have it look just in the TC, then it's not going to take it elsewhere. Can we have it not look in the TC but elsewhere? That's a good question. How can we make it so that it looks everywhere but the TC? Yet the TC would be plugged in into the output. That's the problem. Let's start by plugging the output and noticing the issue. Out. I think we're gonna need another one of those here. It's full. So this one is very simple. You take the last one that combines them all and then splits them all. Plug it into one of them. Then you have a few more, but let's first plug it back into the system. Back to the where it was. Then we have some extra outs. Did I turn this on? I guess I did. Boom. So maybe we want like specifically that machine to be plugged on to the battery so that it never stops. Because it's fun when you leave the game with your ores, and this keeps cooking for you. You come back, you got stacks of sulfur, stacks of this, stacks of that. Morning routine makes it so that you can just take those, a little more, and do your gunpowder, amongst other things. Yeah, good question. So if we would want the machine to look in the TC and elsewhere, we would plug both of them in the combiner. So we would plug this in the combiner, and then the fetch here in the combiner, then outroute that into the furnace. So this one would be the one that's... No. This one would be saying pull from TC and elsewhere. And it could be, in this case, everything else. Which TC is not plugged in, by the way. Right? Like in this case, for example, if it's the last one, that's a good point. In the combiner series, it doesn't change anything because it could have been here as well. But well, we do need the system to plug overall into the splitters if we want everything to work like it does. But let's just say after that there's another one of those combiners where we put the TC and then the furnace, or in before and TC combine into this one, and this one will then be looking in TC and wherever the other one is going. In this case, the whole system. That's how you make it look through specific boxes, right? Because, for example, we could have a combiner that combines, I don't know, the TC, the locker, and this box. And then they all plug here, and then they all come out into this, the entry. And this will be saying, oh, I want the stuff I want, and I'll be looking in those 3 boxes. TC, locker, and this box. You know, and if you wanted to look at more boxes, then you put more combiners. This, and you plug it into the in. That way it will not look into these boxes here. But is that the only way? Does that, so that would mean that I would have to have, and I'm already looking for another solution, but that would mean that I would have to have additional combiners for subsystems or subcategories, where I have this box, this box, this box, this box, this box, but not these two, plugged into a combiner or two, and then fed where I want them to be fed. This way I would not look into these boxes. So we come back to the initial question. How do we not make it look through the TC? Well, if you have combiners combining everything other than the TC, and then look at that. is it worth it first? And two, that's a lot of piping. My question then is there a way to make subsystems inside the main system with less combiners than what it would take to do a subsystem that is very close to the current system? I'm thinking. I'm almost there. I'm putting a splitter in before the system, in between the system, branching off the TC. The TC pulls from everything very simple. The TC and the system both are separate now, pulling from the system. Now my task is to combine or bring back the TC without it being looked into. Is it that? Is it that? Because if it's that, it would be nice, because that's a little simple. What it's doing now is not it though, because the system is now pulling from the TC and everything else. As you can see, it's playing with it. We don't want that. We could be asking it to leave 3000. But then that means the machine is not taking from the system. Would be taking from this. And what is this here? This is the system. The machine needs to take in before the system splits. Does it? So the TC being a separate entity, having its own combiner, allows us to have it being fed into the machine we're looking to feed it into. We are kind of taking it and putting it a little higher in the hierarchy. So that it may look in the TC, or not. Do we want it to not do that? What is this one going to again? These three, all of these. So we actually don't want that. We want you to look into a subsystem of all the system combined. You see what's going on here? and then we'll branch the TC. Okay, well that's an idea. I just don't know if it's gonna work out. All of this would go up here, wouldn't it? No, it would not. Okay, well one of them would... Where is this plugged? Yeah, one of them would be plugged here so that it comes back after that. And then it's being fed into the main system. Okay, well, this is one idea made concrete. What we did here is very simple. We took all the combiners, which represent one whole system, all the boxes plugged together into one source, right? And we actually cut a branch off of that. We lifted that branch up and said, in order for that branch to plug back, we're gonna split the initial system into two branches, where all of this will be fed into both the rest of the tree, or yeah, it's kind of coming back into a whole tree. But also allowing just these to be looked into by other machines. Okay, so that means that this combiner is the combiner for the TC. The TC is the one being put aside. Okay. Question is, now what it's doing if I go back in the game, and I'm not sure if this is gonna work out, but at least that's the main idea that I had. Are we able to make subsystems without going again into an extensive tree of combiners, which we just achieved? So what this is doing, it's saying pull all this stuff, leave 1,000 for the TC, 4,000 stone for the TC, 3,000 here was not positioned, let's position it. And now it's saying, okay, or you're gonna pull from this is tough. I don't know if it's gonna work, but first the mechanics. This is gonna pull from this. What is this? This is purely the subsystem, or all the boxes minus the TC because it's over here. Sure. And pull from it all the stuff I need. And then if you still want the TC to be part of the system, then you have to recombine it with the rest of it. This one is going to, I don't know if you can see it, it's right here. This one. So it's taking back the system, adding the TC, and then being fed into the main splitter system, so that all the boxes, except all the conveyors except this one, all the conveyors except this one are pulling what they can pull. If you want multiple conveyors to be doing that, then you would just need more splitters here to allow them. For example, we have one that's off. This one goes here. This one goes to the TC. Does it? Well, that's not what we want. The TC takes from all the boxes. Nothing changing. So this should replenish, provided we have stone. This is not playing anymore. It was possibly playing because it was looping just what I changed here. Oh, we have the stone. It's right here. Let's take some of it. So this should be taken from the box that I stand on, or the furnace, or whatever. And then this is the same idea. So it's working. At least it's not playing. It's not like coming back in and out and in and out. Is this one juking? Nope. Everything seems alright here. This one is also being taken to the furnace. Okay. Well, that's intriguing. That is a simple way to add subcategories, or say, don't look here. Right? Don't look here means look everywhere else but here. Okay. Gotcha. If that is the case, then we don't need the limits or the minimums. Can absolutely scratch those. And it will not be juking our wood, for example. Because it's not looking there, right? It's looking in the splitter, which is looking into the three combiners. Right? It's looking into, right? It is looking into the splitter, which is the three combiners, not the TC. And so it is not looking here. But here's the catch. My real goal with this is that I can drop. I may be able to, I don't know. Sometimes it just fucking works out. Let's say I come here, I come home, and I'm like, yeah, drop everything. Can it take out some things to put it in the right box? Because I just need some here and leave some space for other things. It doesn't matter when there's a lot of room left, but when there's only like one square left for your diesel or your tuna cans or fucking I don't know what, poo-poo, additional like wall, you want it to fall here. You don't want it to be stuck in the drop box, which is one door from the world, right? Imagine having like a stack of high qual just here, like what? No. So for that, if we want it to be able to take it out, what do we do? I think we're halfway there. Now, how do we tell? So here, we don't necessarily want the furnace to be the one directing stuff out of the TC. Not because it's dangerous or anything for your wood or whatever, but more because it's not really the furnace's job to put wood, stone, additional metal frags, and things like that in this box. Right? There is a conveyor whose task is to put all the wood, leaving 1,000 in TC, all the stone, leaving 4,000 in TC, the additional metal frag, all of that shit comes here. The sulfur goes here. Right? How do we tell all those machines? How do we tell the rest of the system, in fact, that they should look in the TC, but only the TC, and leave 4,000? That's the hard part. Because if you tell them to leave 4,000, then it will try to leave it everywhere, because it's looking everywhere. Let me eat something. That's how I like to work on things. I'm like deep in thoughts, you know. Adding variables. Let's take this machine for example. Let's try to take the sulfur, the charcoal, the gunpowder, all stuff that goes in the TC. If you're over here and you press H and you drop everything, it comes here. How do we tell this machine to take all that? Well, I think it's easy for this machine because we don't want to leave any gunpowder, any charcoal, any sulfur in the TC personally. So we don't need a minimum. So it can take all of it. How would we do that? And that's why I think this idea, even though it's interesting, is not the right one for my goal. But this machine can do it if the TC is plugged into the main system and it's just looking into it and saying, there's a bunch of sulfur all the place. Let me take all of that and put that here. That's not hard. That's normal. What about this machine? Nothing to take from the TC. I don't think there's anything here either. What about this one? Nothing. So only a few machines care about some things that can be put in the TC, namely this one and this one, an observation. This one I think I can manage to plug it over the whole thing at some point. You know, it just needs to cover all of it, so I don't think that's an issue. We go back to The most complicated machine system in this whole thing is the furnace system. But the thing about the furnace machine that I like to do is combine multiple ideas. It will not only feed the ores and wood, but it will also try to push stone, tuna cans, bean cans, additional metal fragments simply into this box. So what it's doing by doing that, in the box that is plugged to the system, what it's doing by doing that, it's saying, look everywhere for metal fragments. Can you find any? And so it looks here, it looks there, it looks there, it looks there, it looks there. And it says, oh shit, there's some here. We gotta leave 3,000 here. But it's also looking in its own box and saying, oh, there is metal fragment, but that's the destination. Is there other boxes that are plugged into this box? Yes, the furnace. The furnace is a box. It has metal fragments in it. What am I trying to do? Well, I'm trying to push metal frag here and here. Can I do that? The answer is yes. It'll take it from this box and push it through this box into this box. So that's where these metal fragments are going. They're truly just going here. See? They're coming from the furnace. Interesting how well it works for such a simple system. Maybe the way I set it up cannot work with the idea that I have. Maybe I do have to remove all of this and put another machine which will be more let's say one more machine that only focuses on the TC, let's say. But I try. The other thing about this, well, I think the cans can definitely go with the ores. These are just material that, you know, go into the furnace. But when it comes to the stone and metal fragments, you know, I kind of want it to come here. I mean, not only that, but when I put wood here, what is it supposed to be doing? Well, it's supposed to be coming here. So it certainly looks like this box needs its own. We'll make one, but I'm still going to attempt to consolidate first, because I'm deep in thoughts. I do think the having another machine here is just gonna help. And we will then combine the machines. Give me more of this shit. Alright. Mm. Mm. Strange. I know I don't want two machines asking for the same things. Well, this this machine is doing the job, though. It is pulling the wood, putting it in the box, the metal fragments, possibly the high quality ores, but those we know are going into the TC. The TC is blocked here, here, and here at limit, or limited here, here, and here. So we need a machine that also says we'll bring the rest of it somewhere. That's why these lists are similar. This machine might be able to do it. And I'd be pleased with having a very complicated furnace machine. That means it's integrating a few functions and lowering the cost of the whole system. Well, there's a few ideas consolidating. I'm gonna probably take a 5. Just gonna drop this here. This here. Comfort is quite high. Why can't we heal then? Alright. This is Sunday. It's been, it's day 4. People are using their boom today. If not today, then never. Some of them will use it throughout the next 3 days. 2 days especially. Monday, Tuesday. But for a lot of groups, this is the day. We've put iQual along the whole thing here. This is alright because, I mean, our garage doors represent about 1,800 damage going through and to the core. I think I want to cut that light big time. That's what I think. Because these guys are gonna come. Can I make a switch real quick? These guys are gonna come faster than we think, so let's cut it out. Input I read was the battery. Where is it? There it is. Output. Here. That way we can turn it on if we want. I hope I have some time to go to the bathroom, but I'm gonna start by closing the doors. This one is for the car. I like having an additional door for the car. It's been saving saving me. I think this is a proper response when you hear boom like that. Shut it down. Do we leave this cook in? Because when they come on top of the house, they're gonna listen, right? They listen to different types of noise that can tell them. All the noise will tell them something. Do they hear the furnace? How many furnace do they hear? That's a big point. If they hear 2 furnace, they're coming in. That means you need 2 furnace. They don't hear a furnace. I don't know. Do they hear the conveyors? Beep, 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 beep. That also tells them that there's someone good here. Now here's the thing. They'll hit the garage first, because it's not a garage door. Just a regular door. They'll see the camper. Right. They'll see the camper. Then they'll be like, oh. 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 Because the thing is, they can hear a horse. That's one thing. But if they go through the door, they'll see the horse and the camper. You know, when I like to have a horse around, because then they hear a horse and they're like, oh, the garage is for a horse. But no, it's not. It's for a camper. Right? The most badass fucking car you can have in the game. You know, team oriented. Like, it tells a lot. So that's over. They'll hit something, and they'll see the car. You know, GG. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't protect. You can't protect yourself or the car from being seen by boomers, people who have boom. There's nothing you can do. But then the question is going to be back to them. The ball is back in their part. Do you want to hit this place? I think from their point of view, it's too bad it's dark. I don't have night vision. I'm not gonna fucking get close to them. Take it from their point of view. If they're hitting small houses, they probably wouldn't do that with rocket launchers. They would do that with explosives. And then, is that really a winning strategy? You know, maybe. I think you want to hit with your boom. If you want to target small places, places that have a design flaw. So that you can capitalize on that flaw. My place does not have any design flaw of the sort. Or less. I wanted to go outside and show you that I've put some additional floor around the walls that are near the rock or the stone, right? So that they can't just target my walls. They have to target the floor first. Metal, of course, rock, stone. It's a terrible angle to take it from. You know, I think that it's gonna be either or. Either you target small places that have a design flaw that you can capitalize on, and then say I'm using a little bit of boom to get a lot of stuff. Not crazy stuff, just a lot of stuff. So this would mean like you're farming the small houses if you want. Or you're a more organized team with more boom and rocket launchers, and you're gonna target the big places where you have enough to get in and take, you know, all that they have. Which should be additional rockets, additional C4 explosives. You know, when you target a small house with a design flaw, you're basically saying, I'm gonna trade my sulfur, my gunpowder for your scrap, for your uncooked ores, for your resources and components, possibly key cards, another type of utilities. But when you target the bigger ones, I think you're heading for the boom, their boom. We can imagine, for example, a team of 2 or 3 hitting another team of 2, 3, 4 because they have boom, right? I don't know. So that's my current idea. Around it. We'll see if it holds true. They might still target my place because they've had previous information. Like before I put some additional tiles along the rock, you could see that there was garage doors in here. But anyone could have seen that, noticed that. After all, if they have boom, the first 3 days, they want to get information. Who's living here? Who's coming out of here? Is there a lot of activity? Is there a lot of people? Do they play often? Do they kill a lot of people? And collect their loot and etc. There's definitely some houses right now that, you know, some players have been extremely aggressive and getting people's loot that are falling aim on of a boom team. Personally, I like to lay low. You know, my survival instinct is to lay low because I don't want them to hit the house. I'm busy. I'm thinking, you know. I'm coming up with the systems of the future. The last thing I want is for them to come here. And that means the thinking stops. The boom stopped. It's either because they are out of boom. No, I don't think so. Most likely not. Or they need to go fetch boom, which is very likely. Or they're done booming and they're transporting. They could be going from house to house without really having a strategy. I haven't made much clothes. I could probably possibly make more. They don't always despawn everything. They might despawn if you're like, if you have like a 200 cloth, but like a locker full of clothes, they'd be like pissed, you know? You're like, I'm not getting a full inventory of fucking clothes, man. You know, wishing that I had kept the cloth instead of making clothes. Some things might piss off like raiders more than we think. And that's part of the strategy of being poor on purpose. My cloth is still here, it's just in my locker. My sewing kits and my road signs too, baby. But I'm not gonna stay in my house and fucking make clothes. Nice. I need some wood. Let's go get some wood. Makes sense, yep. I don't want to be gone for too long though. Oh, that should be enough for wood. Wood and some clothes. Did they really hit the neighbors? The neighbors finished yesterday the house. I'm not getting close necessarily. What if I die with my furt? What does that tell them? Does that tell them, oh my god, this guy's fucking loaded? Or does it tell them, this guy's poor as fuck, man, he's selling furt? Like, we've hit the wrong house, we gotta hit this guy. I'm going back for a stupid paddle. Am I? Am I though? Do we choose the sock design? I think I'm gonna go for the sock design here. Anybody selling fur today? Yep. Yep. All the road signs are up. Yes. No, very good, very good. I'm gonna cut that out real fast. It's gonna get old. This is gonna be an additional like 20 something iQual for the base. Which is good to make guns. We don't have many guns. We haven't made many guns. I like to use the bow, so I'm making bows, you know? As a precautionary measure, I could, when I hear boom around, take out the camper, come and put it here at the outpost or somewhere else or wherever the fuck. And, you know, so they don't know where my house is anymore. You know, when I'm part of the neighborhood, they know where my house is. That would allow me just a quick dip off. Quick spawn location as well. To try to recoup my house once they're done, or have the necessary material to build somewhere else, for example. Can even bring my gunpowder with me, you know what I mean? The tarp, how nice. Let's try the SOG build, and if they decide to boom, I'm gonna stand in between the two doors. I could like go to sleep or something so that they see me and they're like, oh fuck, this guy is so poor, let's fuck on, let's leave. This guy is so poor. He's got a sock build. It's not even tier 0 at this point. How costly is the sock build? It's meant to be with the tarp here. That's pretty not that's pretty cheap. I mean, I had what, 90 clod, maybe 70 clod. It costs about 40 clod. And then the sock is, that's burlap. I can't even make the sock. I need to research the sock. Are you serious? Oh. Looks like a potato bag. It was so good. I'm just gonna come home in my house with a bone knife, a rock pickaxe, and an outfit where I look like this. That's a defense mechanism. $222 scrap. Why don't you? Do I need a drill? Do I need a drill? What do I need? I know I need stone. And I mean I need wood. Oh, and actual gloves. I think time is of the essence, so let's just grab the gloves and fucking go. They might be on my house right now. I would expect them to be. Yes, these are the right ones. If they catch me with it, well shit. Well shit. By the way, I'm always gonna go for gloves before boots for a few reasons. First, we are in the cold, right? So we do need that cold protection, just so we can see better. There's a lot of good points to that. And it also protects the middle part of the body. Alright, well if they kill me here, I'm just really unlucky. I'm using absolutely all precautions. He could literally be living here or there or there. And I mean, I'm the guy with all their boom, so they don't know that, but this is the fucking guy who has all their boom. No, I'm not gonna hit the red barrel. I'm not that crazy. This guy was absolutely geared. I'm gonna make it look like I don't know any better. Well, I try to gather some information as to if they are at my place. And I think I would see them on top of my house. Not truly doing boxes. This is by far the most dangerous since day one, I think. Oh, the bear. You see how I do this anyways? I drop all this stuff. And this should be taken into this box. If we can set it up. Like, you can literally put it anywhere. Look at any box, drop anything. You know, that's the idea. And here too, it's just able to take it. Gloves, no choice, we gotta do it. That's one I might research. Like even here, like if I drop the high quality ore, I want the furnace to at some point be picking it up. From here, it doesn't need to stay here. Oh. Oof. Maybe I should have been more prudent and close the doors first. I don't want to waste my build, my sock build, going over there and them not understanding I live here. I'm just gonna stop here like that. Gonna stop the video here, probably. Come back if there's action, or if I come up with the solution to the system. Because I don't know how long it's gonna take. An hour or so. And if they decide to boom my place after seeing me looking like this, well, then there's not me stopping them now, you know? That's not happening. We'll just have to come back after the damage is done. Yeah. Fantastic.